It is impossible to behold this without being convinced that whatever other nations may do, they will never equal England in respect of manufacture. Vast bellows give roaring blasts, which make the whole edifice horribly sublime. I thought that I was gazing into the mouth of Dante's hell. It's in a spot like this that one sees the sources of British power.
Indians were astounded at the British capacity for drink. As one Indian commentator put it,
"Seldom do they gather together without taking drink. Their nights are filled with noise and fights."
one evening, after he had been in India for about a year, he was alone and in a mood of intense depression. Clive picked up a pistol. It didn't go off. He tried again. Still, it didn't go off.
The story goes that at that point, a friend of Clive's came into the room. Clive gave him the gun and asked him to fire it. He did, and it went off. Clive had narrowly escaped death. Some people have concluded that he must have been a man of destiny. Maybe he was. But he was really, at that time, more of a desperado.
But there was one hugely important innovation nonetheless. For a new mass medium had appeared alongside radio and cinema.
To the right, the Earl Marshal, the Duke of Norfolk. Attended all by their pages, and then followed by St. Edward's crown, borne by the Lord High Steward, Admiral of the Fleet, the Viscount Cunningham.
Should TV be permitted to broadcast the crowning of Elizabeth II? The Queen was firmly opposed, but a tide of popular feeling, quickly reflected in the press, forced a retreat at the palace.
The result was that on the 2nd of June, 1953, I, then an 8-year-old boy in my Sunday best, gathered, along with countless millions others, to watch the coronation on a neighbour's television set, which had been bought specially for the occasion. It was the first time that I'd seen television or a monarch, and I've never forgotten it.
Tulips are not originally Dutch. They were actually imported from Turkey, but they began to become very popular in Holland in the decade after Hudson's voyage. No flower like this had ever been seen before. They were rare and wonderful. The Dutch even made special vases just for tulips. Even the unostentatious and careful Dutch began to invest heavily in tulips. Prices were going up. There were fortunes to be made. Because you could never be quite sure exactly what the flower would look like, there was an element of risk and of opportunity. People were happy to speculate for high stakes in the tulip futures market. The crash was inevitable. Almost overnight, people realized that they had been trading in nothing more useful than a flower. What had once been an investment with huge potential suddenly became worth slightly less than an onion.
I love you. At the same time as Mussolini was dreaming of the glories of the Italian people, in Russia, the Soviet state was being constructed. Counter-festivals were organised to obliterate saints' days, while images of world deities were burned on bonfires. But the godless went into a frenzy each Christmas. They discovered an effective method of promoting atheism while attracting large audiences. The festive pièce de résistance was a naked woman embracing the figure of God in order to bring religion into disrepute. It turned out to be a popular new festival, but nobody is sure quite how much faith it actually subverted.
So when Napoleon called the English a nation of shopkeepers, he was actually pointing to a reason for his own defeat. It was the new British consumer society that allowed her to keep fighting through the French economic sanctions. Why did the growth of exploration and the opening of trade routes affect the Industrial Revolution? And how did Northern Europe, and Britain in particular, manage to come to rule the waves?